What? What? There are new versions of Arx Fatalis and I didn't try out cheating in those. Well, 10 years have passed, guys. It's about time I revisit the game and see if the previous cheats work in these new versions. Oh shit, here we go again. Cheating in Arx Fatalis. Hi guys, I'm your host Lali. Prepare your mice and keyboards and let's dive right into it. Alright, so where do you buy the game today if you want to play with this? You can buy it on Steam or you can get it from GOG. They pretty much cost the same, 5 euros, 5.4 euros. And regarding versions, they both contain the latest 1.21 patch, which is actually the last official patch from the Arcane Studios team before they made the code open source. And we arrived to Arx Libertatis, a project done by a good few people on GitHub. They gave the code the love and care that it desperately needed since the code was dormant for a good few years. And they did some wonderful stuff to the game, like port it to newer operating systems, newer machines. It's necessity if you want to run it on operating systems other than Windows. And apart from the well-expected stability improvements and bug fixes, Arx Libertatis actually contains minor differences compared to the original game. We will use the GOG version for baseline of comparison, and after that we will jump over to the stable version of Arx Libertatis, and finally we will peek into the snapshot versions and see if we can find any differences. Right off the bat, if you start a new game, there is an Easter egg. You can obtain an otherwise unobtainable player face by pressing quick generate 10 times. Then follow that by pressing appearance 8 times. If you did everything correctly, then clicking the done will change its color. You can press appearance and finalize the cheat by pressing done again. There you go. I'm gonna go with this character. By the way, this does not affect the gameplay at all in any particular way. Right, we start the game off normally. I will quickly disable our goblin friend over here, so he will not interrupt with any of the experimentations with cheating. Come here, you boy. Come on.
You not move.
Oh, you better.
Ow!
Stupid little fucker he is. Yeah, that's good. Alright. So, the classic way of cheating in Arx Fatalis is by using that particular bone over there and combine it with this chair 10 times. Like, really logical. Hold on, Kultar, we will get to you. Yep, if you did everything correctly, then you will get the cheater text, and you will also get a bunch of cool items. And I will quickly equip those. Oh, come on. Alright. Yes, Kultar. Here you go.
Thank you, Shigar.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm...
Thanks, Bob. Okay. As I was saying, you get a ton of nice items. Few of them are actually for debugging purposes, and this is Arcane Studios' way of having a debug console. They are particularly difficult to use for any debugging purposes, but they actually let you skip to other points in the game. If you want to know more about these items, then I will link the wiki page for these into the description. I have quickly moved over to this roomy place in the dungeon and we will check the cheats out here. I think this has enough room for that. So, how do you get cheats in Arx Fatalis? We saw the bone and chair thing, but there are actually runes that you can draw which are not identical to the ones that you get in the magic book. Also, I need to mention that you don't need to have any of these runes with you in order to make those cheats possible. You can do it right here in your cell before getting out. Alright, let's start up with the classic reference to the Ultima Underworld games. You need to draw a U and a W. You need to draw straight lines continuously, and if you don't get the cheat at first try, then just keep holding Control and try drawing the runes over and over again until you get it. So you draw a U by going down, diagonally down to the right, back up, that's U. And that's not the correct way of drawing the U, because you should not get any match with existing runes. Okay, that worked. Then W, down, up, diagonal. And there you go. We have a reference to the original Ultima Underworld games. This doesn't do any other things to the game apart from drastically reducing the graphical quality of the environment. All the NPCs and player characters will remain the same. Items and interactables will not change. And this is an actual undoable spell, so if you do it again, then it will revert back to its original form. The second cheat in our list is, well, I will refer them by the letters you need to draw, is PLPL. You go up, then 2 diagonals for P, L, then again P, L. And if you didn't fuck up like I did, then you will get this. So in the Arx Libertatis wiki, this is referred to as Pnax, and its effect can be seen on the wildly jumping HP and mana bars. If you open your book, then apart from the color changes, you will get random stats for every frame in the game. And if you do the cheat over and over again, you will get different color combinations for your screen. Let's try this again. Yeah, it didn't work as usual. Now we have a slight orange tint to the screen. Then doing it again will result in having a black and white version of the game. Actually, this is really nice, and I would play this and would use it in the game. But you have this randomized stat thing. This is actually undoable if you cycle through all of the color combinations. 4th time you will return to the original stats and the original coloring. Or at least I hope so. Alright, moving on to another cheat that is undoable. It goes like SDSD. You draw 2 S and D letters like this, and it will result in having enormous heads for every player and NPC character, and even the rats too. Not the mice, only the rats. And this is also undoable, but keep in mind that it will not give you any feedback, only a slight lag. And that will be your only indication the cheat have actually been reverted back to its original form. And also the NPC heads changed back. So no animation. Most revertible spells work that way. Another cheat that you will most probably not use very often is the one which will change the player head. You need to do up, down, and up, down 3 times altogether, and it will cycle through all the player heads that you would otherwise choose on the beginning of the game by pressing appearance. Note that this will cycle through the original 4 heads, and it will skip that special hero we chose in the beginning. Okay, so the next one is a cheat that you will probably use most of the time if you are just fooling around, and it's drawn like this. You have to draw 3 staircases, and it's a wall clip, or as Arx call it, it's pass wall. Note that even if you look up or down, you will not move vertically. You have to press page up or page down to move up or down. And also, if you go away far enough, then you might get stuck in blackness and you will wander around trying to get back. Like, try navigating in this black. This is actually reversible, so let me just get down. But first, let's escape from this prison, now that we can. I'm gonna quickly undo this. By the way, the line lengths in these cheats don't really matter, only their directions. So as long as the lines are straight, your cheat will work. Another really useful spell is the one which goes like SOS, and it will reveal the map for you. I'm gonna quickly enable the minimap and go SOS. And if you did everything correctly, there you go, then the whole map will be revealed to you. Nice. This is definitely useful. Moving on, there are some OP weapons that you can get in the game by saving Lord Inut. Sadly, only one. You will not get both, but you can get the other one by doing some cheats. The first one is Sam, not the Winchester, and this will give you Lord Inut's bow.
I do not yet have the skill.
We will get back to that later. It's the most OP bow in the game. The counterpart of it is Lord Inut's sword, which is an enormous blade, and you have to summon it with POM. Thank God I've got an extra slot for that weapon, since it takes up a 3x3 area.
I do not yet have the skill.
And you need 18 strength to wield it. Not the lightest weapon. Alright, there are a few hidden armors that is normally unobtainable or really difficult to obtain. You have to draw 2 runes, Mega and Kaom, one after each other, 11 times. Note that you don't need to have Mega and Kaom runes. And if you did everything correctly, then you get yourself first the helmet. I'm gonna quickly do it again. So tedious. What do you want? If you want to have cheats, yeah, leggings. I'm gonna place the helmet there. After that we will do a little dressing show and try those on. And you have the last piece. Note that these are unidentifiable. Also, the Lordinut sword and bows are also
I do not yet have the
unidentifiable,
skills to do
no
that.
matter how high your object knowledge is. And I think it's about time that we get to the game's own god mode, where you get buffed up with a ton of stats. You draw that by drawing MAX, like max. And if you do it correctly, then you will get a red tint around your character, and our friend from the cheaty beginning of the game will be back. This is the face of the maxed out character, I guess. I think now we can pop some muscle into the character and use the sword. And its special ability is that
You lose again. You not
it
move.
deals enormous damage, freezes the opponent, and also drains some of its health. If we want to try out the armor, then this is it. It has no three-dimensional models. It's completely transparent. That's a pity. The sound effect is on, but no models for it. That's a shame. At least the sword is good. I'm gonna equip Lord Inut's bow and show its power. I don't want to do too much damage. Check this out. Like an atomic explosion. Oh, it also does poison damage too. Nice. Alright, moving on. There's an Easter egg called Mariana. It's by drawing 3 letters M-A-R. Sometimes it works. I think we have company.
Die, bastard.
Come on.
Bad human. Me eat.
Well, he's still poisoned. So, M-A-R. I think if you just saw the blinking at the letter A, that is when you get it correctly. As far as I know, this is the only spell that gives you some indication on whether your spell is correctly done or not. So, there's a nice lady on the top right hand corner. Apart from that, it will boost your speed a bit. As you can see, I'm running a bit faster. Also, it will boost your mana related points, and it will make the ambience a bit brighter.
Ultra kill.
Great, now that we have that out of the way. And there's another spell which will boost some of your stats. It is R, A, and F. There you go. It says ref mode. It will also increase your speed, like it's the original speed up cheat. And please keep in mind before using these last three spells, the max, the mar and the ref, that they are not reversible. So no matter how hard you try drawing those again, they will not go away. All three cheats will change the chances of what you get when you do the summon spell. So if you do the summon spell, then there's a good chance that you will get a chicken if your character is between level 1 and level 8. And if you're level 9 or above, then you will summon a demon. But there's a really small chance, like 0.3%, that you would encounter a female Ylside, referred to as Ylside MX in the Arx Libertatis wiki. And also there's a slight chance that you would encounter a giant rat, known as Wrat in the wiki. So let's try summoning those things in. What do we get now? Oh no. So she's the female Ylside, the Ylside MX. And she's a pretty good spellcaster. If you ever get caught in her paralyze sequence, then you are probably dead. You need to be well prepared to defeat her. Stay away from her. Oh my god. I wish I could do that. Okay, so note the armor on her. It's the exact same armor that we have summoned with the Mega Kaom cheat. If you kill her, then you will get one of those armors. So to get a complete armor for yourself, then you would have to defeat her 3 times. Fun thing. I'm gonna try and defeat her. Okay, as long as she's before you, you can just try hitting her with this giant sword. Oh no. Here we go again. Come on! Watch out with her. She might get on the ground and fool you that she's dead. I saw that a few times. Oh, come on already. Let's give her a taste of her own medicine. I can tell that the game is probably struggling much to render this fight. Oh, we got her. She's getting red, and she exploded. And she drops that nice sword that we already have. And look at this. She dropped one piece of her armor. Not gonna summon that thing again. Alright. There's a 50-50% chance that we will get a giant rat. Let's try that. Oh, I'm so... Hey, it's a Ratata. Okay, it's fast. It's chewy. It's much easier to defeat. It's just tedious. Oh, it fainted. Alright, I think we covered everything. Let's move on to Arx Libertatis. And here we are in Arx Libertatis. This is the stable version. Right off the bat, I can show you guys some goodies. For example, regarding video settings, we now have support for widescreen monitors and larger resolutions. I'm gonna start a new game. I'm gonna go with the cheaty character from the previous session. And as you can see, this still works. And another change compared to Arx Fatalis is the load time. It's blazing fast. Okay, I'm gonna do some housekeeping over here.
Well done.
I'm gonna see my friend over here. Make sure he will not interrupt the presentation.
Lords, attack!
You filthy.
Oh, did you miss me? Yes, he did. And also, quickly release Kultar before he starts nagging me.
Thank you, Shigar.
Oh, don't mention it. It's my
I'm
pleasure. Now that we have these out of the way, there are a few cheats that got some changes. One of them is the password cheat. The method for invoking it is the same as before. Need to draw 3 staircases. If you did everything correctly, then you will notice that you can no longer press page up and page down. You can simply look up or down and you will go in the direction that you are facing. It's really neat and much more comfortable to use. Quickly undo this. And another cheat that have received some minor changes is the UW. Listen. We now have some music going on, probably from the original Ultima Underworld game. And the graphics have been reduced even more. Undo this too. Ah, come on. And anytime you toggle the cheat, that little music will play. That's what you call feedback. Alright, there's another thing that is probably worth mentioning, and that is if you press F11, then there will be an FPS counter on the top left hand corner of the screen. Not much, but it's the start of a nice set of debugging tools that the guys at Arx Libertatis keep adding to the game. We will get back to that topic in the snapshot version. And there's one more cheat that received quite huge changes, and that is the Panux cheat, the one that goes PLPL. As you can see, I did the cheat and we still have the funkiness with the stats, but there are no color changes going on. So the devs of Arx Libertatis removed that. they might add it back in the future. Okay, doing it another time will not change much. Basically nothing. But doing it another time will move you back to the normal state. And I think I can tell you that the stats have gone back to the original form. So you need to do this cheat one last time. I guess I covered everything. I think we can move on to the snapshot version of Arx Libertatis. See you guys in a moment. Welcome to the snapshot version of Arx Libertatis, guys. If you want to go with the same version that I'm using in this video, then your version is this. You can download it precompiled from the Arx Libertatis team's website, or you can go with the Arx Insanity mod. Both will contain some version of the snapshot. Before starting a new game, I have to show you guys that there are a ton of new options. As I mentioned, we have support for larger monitors, so we probably need to tweak the user interface at some time. So this is the place to do that. And also some new controls have been added to the game. For example, my new favorite is the quick level transition. You no longer need to painstakingly move your mouse to the top right hand corner of the screen when you want to change a level. You can simply just stand there and do a single jump. I think that's pretty convenient. I'm gonna quickly start a new game, nothing fancy. Simple quick generation, and I'm gonna quickly do the usual housekeeping stuff.
Hey.
Well done.
You'll regret it. Ah, not kill me.
This was definitely faster.
Well,
Right.
I'm...
Unlike the previous sections of the video, I will not start off by doing cheats, but instead will brag about the enhanced debug options in Arx Libertatis snapshot versions. If you keep pressing F11, then you will get more stuff than previously, which was just a simple FPS counter. First you will get that FPS counter, but if you keep pressing F11, then you will get a graph version of that. A list of items that put some load on the game, and get some highlight around the clickable items in the game. And lastly, you will get a list of loaded items. If you press F11 once more, then it will go back to the normal state. There's another new cool feature added to the game, which goes by the name of debug display and will be praised by future map makers. If you keep pressing scroll lock key, yes, you heard me, scroll lock, I have to emulate it with a mouse, so bear with me for a second. Here we go. Then it will highlight certain parts of the map. For example, this one goes for the entities. You can see it on the top right hand corner of the screen. That will tell you what stuff being highlighted at the moment. This one is for path and zones. This is for pathfinding. I'm going to cycle through all of them quickly. This one is for light entities. The next one is for fogs. And another one for shapes, which I'm not quite sure on what is. Collision shapes, sorry. And this one is for portals. This one is for materials. This is definitely useful if you want to check out the polygons of Coulter's ear. And damages, this one points out all the points that can damage you. And this is it. So this will be very useful for future map makers. I don't necessarily agree with the choice of key for that. Hope that will be rebindable in the future. There's another sweet new feature that will be probably used much in the future, and that is a proper debug console. You have to draw a cheat sequence in the beginning to enable it, which goes like this. And once you enable it, you can toggle it with the backtick key and hide it with the escape. I'm not gonna get into the details on the commands in this video because frankly this is getting too long and also it deserves its own video. So gonna quickly move on with the cheats. And there's a slight change with the password cheat. I think you will welcome this. As you can probably remember from the previous sections, if you go out of the walls, then you will most likely enter into a dark void until you reach the other end of the wall. But that's not the case anymore. Now you can freely roam around and see all the parts of the map. This shows how close the dragons then to the goblins' place, for example. It's creepily close. And also if you go to your cell and for any reason try to invoke the ignite spell, then it will actually light something, but now you can explore and check that it's a light or a torch or a whatever the hell thing is this at Gru's place. Pretty neat. So before we conclude this video, I need to do a little experiment now that we are in the most recent version of the Arx Libertatis. And that is, do I still need to invoke the Mega Kaom sequence 11 times to get the hidden armor like we did in the Arx Fatalis game? Because as I mentioned, you need to draw it 10 times according to the wiki. So let's see. This was 8. Well. Well, the cheat still works. And you still need to draw it 11 times. Okay, I think this is it. Thank you guys very much for watching and joining me in this adventure of revisiting the cheats. And I really hope that this video was informative to you. Drop into the comment section and let me know what are your experiences with cheating in this game, which cheat is the most or the least useful. Also make sure to check the description for the links I've mentioned throughout the video. and I will get back to you guys in the near future with some more content. Bye bye!